Hello, everybody. Good morning. Look, my internet worked today. Yay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I know, right? Big time yay. I don't know what happened last week. I mean, I literally, everything was a black screen, but I can assure you it had nothing to do with cords. Everything was fine.
Well,
Yeah,
I was going to say, didn't you even have trouble trying to upload a video and stuff later on that day?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, you had a lot of internet issues.
It was a weird day. For sure, it was a weird day. Hey guys, I'm really excited about these cards. These are called my double flap cards. And I know how much you guys love fun folds. Sometimes we just want to create a card that's a little bit different. And these cards are just that. And I'm telling you, they are super simple. You guys know me. I'm always going to make it simple for you. So we've got a landscape and we've got a portrait. So depending on what kind of image you are going to be working with, you're going to have a design that'll work. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back over here. I know that Christina and Brenda are here as well. They're joining me. And so Brenda's over on YouTube. She'll be answering your questions or anything, popping in and letting me know what you guys have to say on YouTube. And Christina is over on Facebook. And so she'll be answering your questions there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, we always give everyone a chance to get onto the live because, you just got that notification we were live. So we want to give everyone a chance to kind of get on. And so we do a little chit chat here at the beginning. And if you're watching the replay and chit chat's not your thing, I got it. Just scroll forward until you see my hands. And that's when the stamping will begin. But I have got to share with you an email I got yesterday.
Okay.
August 6th. No, it was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay.
I laughed so hard. I'm telling you. This is from Shirley Watts. Shirley, I know you don't mind me sharing this because I was so with you on this email. This is great. She says, boy, do I feel silly. I was just looking at the clearance rack and I saw the die set called St. Nicholas Dies. Well, I read it just as it says. I couldn't believe that there was a stamp set about the death of Santa Claus. It didn't take too long to figure out my mistake. It had been a long day at school. I scooped, but I had to laugh at myself. Just wanted to share my mistake with you. I was rolling. Really, if you were watching, you made my day. And that it's so true. I mean, I probably would have read it the same way.
I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Santa?
Santa, no.
So, Shirley, thank you. I needed the giggle. And let me tell you something.
Oh, goodness.
My daughter is a teacher. So it sounds like I know what you're going through there.
Oh, yeah.
She's from Louisiana and, she had been at school. Oh, my friend, I feel your pain. Yeah, because we're hearing it all from Jenny as she's getting back. They started back to school today. Yeah. And, everything's crazy, chaotic. And so really, thank you for the giggle. I love it.
That is hilarious. That is
I know.
So funny.
And then we got to talking that family and I that, there are certain words that you really should not say in videos or in lives and things. But you guys, we talk about dies all the time. But at the same time, you go, wow, that's not really a great word for talking about something that we're working on. St. Nicholas.
Mark and I talk about how often we misread signs and we'll look at each other. We'll just be like, wow, did that say? And then it'll click with us. No, it didn't. Not even close. But our version is generally so much better. So,
but I'm so glad that Shirley sent me that email because I'm like, that was the best laugh I've had in a long time.
Oh, that is truly a good one.
It is. That was a great one. So I just had to share that because I know you guys would be tickled by it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that Shirley could laugh at herself because, we all need to.
I'm so glad she shared it. That is fantastic. Fantastic.
So, we better not have another die set, my beloved pet or something.
Right?
We got to think about what we're naming these stamp sets or with the matching die sets.
Or, change it from dies to like cutters. Cutters, I don't know.
But oh my gosh, Made my day. Anyway, should we get to stamping?
Yes.
Yes.
Now that we've got our giggles out, hopefully we'll have some more as we head over to the stamping table to create these fun cards. Okay, well, let's kick things off here. I'm going to create this one first. This is just a hello. You're the best friend, or you're the best friend. You're the best kind of person. I loved that. I love the sentiment. Love the DSP as well. So I always like to tell you guys, don't write down any measurements because I've done all that hard work for you. This free download is available at simplysimplestamping.com, or if you look down in the YouTube description, there's a direct link to it. And I want you guys to have this so you don't have to second guess any of the measurements. Everything's there. I've got my supply list. If you need to come back and watch the video, you can either scan or click the QR code, and that'll take you to the video. You've got photos, and guess what, guys? Diagrams. Yes, I've got diagrams to go along with today's video as well. I know you guys like those. By the way, I'm going to jump in here. I had somebody ask me, your diagrams look so nice. How do you make them? What program do you use? You guys, I use Microsoft Word. I create shapes. It's all done with Microsoft Word. Yeah, so very simple. Hey, I've also got a complete supply list. And look at that. For 2 cards, that's a pretty short supply list. I'm kind of proud of that. If you would like to order any of the supplies and you're in the United States, guys, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you for your support of the channel and the free videos I share. So, yeah, I'd love it if you'd click on that. You can place an order for any of these items, of course. Go over to the clearance rack and check out St. Nicholas.
And Connie, the
Yes.
DSP is on sale this month.
That's true. The designer series paper, this one here, is on sale for 15% off. Thank you for mentioning that, Brenda. You're absolutely right. So through the end of August, that will be at a nice little discount. And with that, we are going to jump in and get started. So I am going to start with my designer series paper. I'll kind of go over the cardstock as we go along. All right. But I want to start with my designer series paper and my diagram, because we're going to do a little cutting. It's easy cutting, but I know a diagram always makes it easier, right? So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. We're going to be using this side here. And so what I want to do first is I want to cut it in half. It's a 6 by 6, and I'm going to cut it in half at 3 inches. Okay. Now this is a random pattern. There's really not necessarily a right or wrong to it, but I'm going to put both pieces together. All right, because I can cut through the 2 pieces together pretty easily. And I'm going to cut with the 6 inches up at the top. We're now going to cut this down to 3.5. And that will give me the 4 pieces I need for my card. Okay, so that is all we need with diagram A. Now let's move on to diagram B. And so you've got 2 pieces of Daffodil Delight cardstock. You've got a 3 1/4 by 4. Let me try that again. 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this one, I guess I didn't put the measurement on there. Let me go look. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Sorry, I missed putting a little measurement on there. You're going to score each of these at 1/2 inch here on the side. So, yep, you're just going to put the longest side up at the top. So that's going to be the 4 1/4, and just score it 1/2 inch on each of those. Okay. So that's diagram B. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with those pieces. So I'm going to bring in my bone folder, because you do want to give those a really good crease with your bone folder. I've got my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 Daffodil Delight. And let me go ahead. I'm going to kind of open these, get some adhesive going here. I'm going to try, see if I can bring my laptop in just a little bit more so I can see what you guys are saying.
Hey, Connie?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you love that glass mat?
I do. Did you guys notice I started using the glass mat? First of all, I have one over at my desk where I create everything. So FYI, this is just my video section. And I immediately had to order another one because I really love stamping on it. Yes. And so, yeah, I had to get one for over here for my videos too, because it's fabulous. It really is. Do you like yours? Oh,
I
Brandon,
have
you're muted.
I have 2 of them.
You have 2 of them as well, right?
So yes, that is, I love them. I love them.
Yeah, it just, and it makes stamping with your photopolymer really nice and simple.
It
Okay,
really
real quick,
does.
I'm going to show you. There's my adhesive, and I'm going to fold it down. And I'm going to leave myself about 1/4 of an inch. You don't need to measure it necessarily, but just kind of leave yourself a little border right there. And so can you see how I've attached that? It's just going to attach right there. That one's going on the right side. This one is going to come down here at the bottom, and we'll attach that one right down here. Kind of leave yourself the same amount of space. In fact, I think I need to move that over just a touch. Oops, I'm adhered. You know, it's fine. So that's going to create our double flap. By the way, it can also go this way, right? So now for the inside, because we want to hide those little pieces, right? I've got a piece of garden green, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And one, it's going to add a great pop of color, and it's going to cover up the seams that we created there. And now we can bring in our designer series paper. And I'm going to be getting some adhesive on this. Let me see if I can see what you guys are saying. Libby says she loves her glass mat as well. I am so glad. Yeah, these things really are awesome, right? They just, I don't know. And I like that if I get little adhesive boogers on them, it's real easy to get them off. And yeah, and it makes my desk a little bit cleaner. My actual stamping desk over there is a dark gray. And let me tell you, when I get adhesive on it, you know it. It's always got little adhesive icks all over it. And so my glass mat really helps me keep that from happening. All right, so you can see here, we're just going to add the beautiful designer series paper. If you guys have followed me for any length of time, you know I love anything with fruit. So the Mediterranean Blooms designer series paper is a favorite. All right, we've got that. We're going great, right? Let's do some stamping. And I'm going to be using the Citrus Bloom stamp set. So this is the stamp set that goes along with this paper. But I got to tell you, we're only using the sentiment. So if you don't have this stamp set, don't worry about it. You can still use the paper and use any stamp set that you want. You really can. I've got a piece of basic white, 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to use early espresso today. And I chose the early espresso because here in the stems of the fruit, it was early espresso, and I just thought it looked really nice. So we're going to take this sentiment. You're the best kind of person. We'll stamp that kind of right there in the middle. And then we have a little flower. So what I'm going to do, you can add as many as you want, but I'm going to add one up here in the corner and one right there. I might add another one here in a second because I do have one more bit of stamping, but I want, come on, adhesive. I want to get this in my card before I stamp the word hello up in the corner. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to add that. We're going to close this up. See that? I got to make sure my word hello is going to fit in there. So I do like to go ahead and have my cardstock adhered in there before I do anything. All right, let's do a little coloring. I decided to use Stampin' Blends, but guys, you could use a Stampin' Write marker as well. Do whichever one you like. So I'll just dot on some dark. And this is where I said if you wanted to add another flower, you know, this would be a good time to do that. I guess it would really depend on how much writing you like to do in your cards. But we're going to take those colors, blend them together now with the light daffodil. And now we're going to top this off with a little ribbon. And so I decided to use this iridescent trim. I loved this ribbon. I'm going to go on the big one, okay? You can do whichever one you prefer. But let's see, we're going to go at it this way. I'm going to wrap this around. And I'm going to do this in a square knot, but guys, you could also do a bow, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Right over left and under. And when you pull, pull straight up and down, okay? Not right to left, not like that, straight up and down. Now you can hold that, and now we're going to go left over right and under. So right over left and under, and left over right and under. Only pull what's in your left hand, and then you're going to get that really nice little square knot. I'm going to grab my scissors. We'll trim this down. You notice I leave my ribbon on the spool. I find it, I have less waste that way. All right. You can put this ribbon wherever you want. Let's kind of go here in the middle. Well, maybe. Okay, it's just going to stay right there. I think it tied it really tight is my problem. There we go. And with that, let me show you though. Look how different they are. Because of how this paper is, you have oranges and lemons. So it really kind of is determined on how you cut your designer series paper. Because look, there's my oranges there. I could have put them on the outside. I love how I have oranges and lemons and oranges. So there we go, my friends. Simple, simple card, right? Just in a great way, you might have these panels as scraps. Okay, let's move on to our next card. And this is a happy birthday friend card. Happy birthday wishes. And for this one, I used the 2024-2026 in color. So this is Summer Splash. And then I'm also going to be using Berry Burst on this card. So let's bring in our designer series paper. We're going to do that quick cutting again. And remember, we cut it at 3 inches. So just cutting it in half at 3 inches, put both pieces together, and then you're going to cut at 3.5 inches. And we're going to use this side for the big flaps and this side for the smaller flaps, because with this paper, that just works really well. All right. I have got my basic white, and this I'm using basic white thick. All right. I really wanted to use the thicker cardstock for this because it is my card base. Friends, these are exactly the same as we did before. So this is the 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 1/2 inch. So this part, this is all going to go together in the exact same way, except we're going to go portrait. Okay. So I'm going to put my largest one here. And I'm going to be honest, there's no right or wrong to which one you put up at the top, at the bottom. Just you get creative, okay? Once again, we're going to put this down, line it up there on the side of the cardstock. And we'll do that again here. And if you want, you could go ahead and add your designer series paper before you do this. Whatever works best for you. And get one more right about there. Perfect. Okay. And I said we were going to use Berry Burst. So I'm going to put my Berry Burst 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to tuck that right inside so it looks all pretty. Okay. Now we can go ahead and add our designer series paper. And this is the tough one because you want to do this side and this side. As I create reels. If you guys have seen, I've been creating some reels for Facebook and Instagram so that you guys can kind of get a teaser of the cards that we're making here on the channel. And I create the reels before I get started. That keeps me from making mistakes. And you guys are laughing because you know I still do. All right. But as I was making my reel, I almost put adhesive on the wrong side. The good news is it's pretty on both sides. So I could get away with just about anything, right? But there's nothing worse than getting adhesive on the wrong side of your designer series paper. First world problems, right? Okay, so this is another designer series paper that I got to tell you, there's no right or wrong to the pattern, okay? It's very random, and we kind of like random. Makes it real easy to cut. Okay, now we're going to create all the fun stuff. So this one, we're going to be doing some die cutting, and I'm going to use the Friends for Life bundle. Okay, so great stamp set. I love this one. I love big, bold words. And yeah, I loved that you have lots of sentiments that go along with the best and the friend or the hi. You know, we got a lot of things going on here. We're going to make a birthday card.
Connie,
Yeah.
I'm giggling over here because I'm like, oh, friend dies. Sorry.
Friends for life dies. Life and dies. I'm sorry. I'm giggling. Shirley, I'm telling you, you're going to give me a giggle for the rest of my life now. I'm telling you, that is awesome. So awesome. All right. We are going to use the friend. There's two on this one. All right. And I think you can see we have a background color, and then we have the top one. So we have a thin one for the word friend, and then a thick one for the outline. All right. So this one, let me get my cardstock here. I got a piece of Berry Burst. You could use a scrap, but you know, mine, to be like picky, it's a 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, but really just grab yourself a scrap. And guess what? For this card, it's perfect for my mini machine. So I don't have to get that great big machine out for you guys. We're going to take base plate 1, cutting plate 2, and I'm going to put my die on here. And here is a trick for you guys using the mini machine. Can you see how I'm bringing that back a little bit, the cutting plate? When I put my second cutting plate, I'm going to bring it up high. So it kind of looks like an E, okay? This is a great tip for the mini machine. If you've got the mini machine, it helps to grab. So if you'll just kind of offset the center cutting plate, it's going to make it so much easier. And we're going to run that through. And we are going to have our incredible bubble outline. Bubble outlines, if you're on social media and stuff, you're seeing that type of outline all the time. It's really popular. Now we're going to do our word friend. And for this one, I'm going to bring in some adhesive sheet because adhesive sheet makes this so much easier. So I've got a piece of adhesive sheet that is, I made it a little bit smaller, 2 by 3 1/2. I'm going to peel off one end of my adhesive sheet. And I'm going to take, this is where the adhesive, the backing is still on there. I'm going to line that up here at the bottom, my little trick. And see how I can make sure that is going on straight? Because if I started with this and I was crooked, my adhesive sheet would be, well, then it's messy. And we don't want messy. And it's a simple little technique. Now I can peel off the other side and we're good to go. So that adhesive sheet is going to make adhering the word friend so easy, right? Because we don't have to mess with glue and things like that. It's all on the adhesive sheet. So I'm going to tell you, I went ahead and I ran that through my machine. So it's just kind of stuck in there right now. But before I do anything, I'm going to do this one little trick. I think it's called the tittle of the eye. And what I'm going to do while it's still in there, I'm going to see if I can get that adhesive sheet off of there. Because rather there, oh, nope, I pulled up the whole thing. There's the adhesive sheet. But I don't want to lose that, okay? I want to make sure that gets on here. So we'll add that right there. So now I don't have to worry about my eye. Let's say you lost your tittle. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We can't lose a tittle. But if you do, you could use an embellishment, a little rhinestone or something. And I think that would be really cute. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. You can also use the brush, but you know what? My Take Your Pick tool is here. And that should be popping that out of there enough. Oh, you know what it's doing? It's taking off my adhesive sheet before I want it to. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So here's my word friend. And I'm going to show you a trick with this that I love. First of all, this is a real flexible piece of cardstock, okay? So I'm going to start and remove the adhesive sheet backing. And now I've got all this great sticky on here, but I'm only going to remove part of it. Now I've got something to hold on to, and I can center up. We're going to start here. You can start with the F as well, but you know, This side was already coming off, so we're going to go for it. If you adhere it down, you go, oh, it's not quite right. You know what? It's really forgiving stuff. I can lift it and I can recenter it. Just don't press anything down until you're really happy with it. And I literally just go letter by letter. So now let's get the E. I'll just kind of keep pulling that backing off. There's my I. Here comes my R. Gotta love that I'm spelling friend backwards. Okay. And now I can get the last, oops. Like I said, it's really forgiving stuff. I can just lift that. It's stuck down a little too soon. It is not a problem. And I absolutely love Berry Burst in white. It's just there, right? Let me bring my card back in. And I'm actually going to add this here in a second. I think I'm going to do my stamping first so that I can add this where it needs to be. I have got 2 pieces of basic white, 2 ink pads, Berry Burst and Summer Splash. This is one of the new in colors. And let me tell you, I love it. It is one of my all-time favorite colors anyway, because it's kind of that Tiffany blue. I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday there in Berry Burst. And here I've got just a little piece of basic white. What was this one? This is like a 1 by 1 3/4. I will go ahead. Let me just put some adhesive here. I've got a little piece of Berry Burst, just so it has a nice frame around it. Okay. I'm going to add a couple more things to this. This is all in that Friends for Life stamp set. We've got these hearts, and I'm going to stamp those all the way over to the side. If you would feel more comfortable, you can do this after it's in your card. Remember how we did it before with the hello? You know, we wanted to make sure we had room for it. You could wait on that as well. Now in my Summer Splash, we are going to say Happy Birthday Wishes. And we'll stamp that right there to tie in that color a little bit. Here we go. We're going to add this inside our card, and then we'll finish up with the outside. I kind of want that larger one off to the left, but I could reverse it too. You know, it's really up to you. But if you reverse it, then your happy birthday friend would be at the bottom. Let me show you what I mean. If you did it this way, your happy birthday friend is going to go down here, and that's great. Okay. But I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to start with my sentiment, and I'm just going to put adhesive here at the bottom. Okay. Because what I want to do with this, I'm going to center it up in this panel, and I'm going to line up my Berry Burst with the top of that. And I now see that my sentiment is really crooked. So, and it's taking everything off. Okay, I'm coming back to that, guys. I will fix it because, you know, I can't stand it when things go on crooked. Now, to add my word friend, you can see it's going to go right here. I'm going to go ahead and do that with some multi-purpose glue. You can use your adhesive, but, you know, we all, many times as paper crafters, we've got a lot of different adhesives because they all serve a different purpose. That adhesive sheet, for one, I've used, and of course my Stampin' Seal, love it. But you can see I just put a little bit of glue. This one's really easy to add the glue to. This one, a little more difficult. So that's why I like adhesive sheet. All right, we're going to add friend right there. And the last thing we will do, so we're going to come back in with that same iridescent trim. And I got to do it the other way so I can tie it correctly. And I'm just going to add this here to the smaller panel, just like we did before, right over left and under. I'm going to bring this one way down, by the way. Left over right and under. There we go. Trim, trim, and get that off of there. And there we go. There is our sweet happy birthday wishes with that wonderful Berry Burst and the Summer Splash. And there is our first card that we made with our wonderful lemons. And friends, please forgive me, but I did not get out the cards for next week. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can grab them real quick. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Now I remember why I didn't get them out. Okay, get this, guys. And Brenda's going to put the link up for next week. 4 cards. We're going to create 4 masculine cards. 4. I know you need masculine cards. So that is going to be a great live next week. And guys, these are super fast cards. You're going to love it. We're going to create 4 masculine cards. One of them is even going to be a holiday card. Yes. Can you believe it? In August, we're going to start holiday cards. We're going to get a few in here in August because I know many of you like to get started. And holiday cards for men, maybe your pastor or your boss, or, you know, we've all got those men in our lives that we go, well, we really want to send a card, but we'd like it to be a masculine Christmas card. So we will have those for you next week. I hope you'll join us. And friends, I think with that, we are done for today. Thank you. I hope that these cards inspired you. Please go give them a try. Use some of those scraps that you have and a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. I mean, super easy, right? Thank you, Brenda and Jenny. I'm sorry, Christina, forgive me. We were talking about Jenny earlier and her first day of school. I guess she was just on my mind. I love you, Christina.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Thanks. I've been working for you for 1 year and you can't even remember which daughter works for you.
You know, okay, those of you out there that are moms, you know, what was it, Brenda? What was it you always said your kids' names, and then you started calling them by the dogs' names? And
yeah, and finally I just went with whatever name I said, added an apostrophe S and said brother.
that one works.
Yeah,
I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, Christina, how many times has Jenny been called Chris Jenny?
Chris Jenny.
So many times.
So
Chris
many
Jenny
times.
and Christina. Those are our legal names at this point.
Yeah, Chris Jenny. We get that one a lot in this house. Anyway, thank you. All I was going to say was thanks for being here. And then the brain just went.
It's fine. It's fine.
Have a fantastic Thursday. Have a great weekend. Create these cards. Pop them in the mail. Fun fold. That's easy. You got to love it, right? Thank you, guys. I can't wait to stamp with you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.